Okay, so this is daily sketch number 7 for my painting class. And somebody picked this awesome shark. Really, the shark's face is really close to us and its body curves and the tail is far away. So what I want to establish is where the top of the nose is going to go. And then I've got this very sharp, well, it's actually a long and then a sharp curve towards the back. And then the tail comes down like this. It's actually the same distance, like it starts up where the nose is and then you go straight down, that's where the tail would end. But the body's clear over here. So if you can establish that curve close to what we have here, that'll give you a good start. And then the face is really wide. So I'm going to try and figure out this shape of the head first. So I want to say, how wide is the head? How angled back does the mouth go from the nose to the mouth? So I want to look at that angle with my pencil. And I need to get my eraser and fix this. So I'm looking for the correct angle here. And then the top of the head is a very flat angle compared to the mouth. The mouth is very horizontal. Top of the head is more of a vertical. And then it starts to curve back. So I really want to look at the negative space right here on this curve. It's not as round as I have it. V is a little bit more. It's not a sharp, pointy V, but I want to pay attention to that. The body is thick at the top, and then to show me that it's going back, it's going to thin out. And I'm going to erase this middle line now, my guiding line. It was off just a little bit, and now I'm getting this more correct, so this will help me. And if you'll notice here, like, what's the distance here? What's the distance here from the jaw to the back? And then what's the distance when I start to curve? And I can tell I'm getting a little too rounded up here. And that really helps me with that shape. This seems like an easy drawing, and it is as long as you get this shape correct. And that tail really narrows towards the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to erase some of these messy lines. And commit to one and get it correct. Go back here. Okay, now my tail I'm going to readjust now that I've got the body shape correct. And pay attention to this angle. This back fin comes about like that, and then this bottom fin. The bottom fin's a little bit shorter, and I'm just going to generally get the shape correct. I can go back through and I'll fix this later. Okay, so the top one's longer, bottom one's shorter, because the angle of the shark's body. Okay, now I want to look at fins and mouth. So the mouth comes from the head. It's the bottom third, maybe even quarter. Okay, and it has this kind of grimacing downward shape of the mouth, and that's why sharks are so creepy, right? Is this menacing mouth. And it comes about halfway into the body. Then about midway, middle of the mouth and up, maybe not, maybe to the right section, you have the eye, and they just have a circle for the eye. And then I really want to pay attention to this top fin. Okay, if I went straight up from the mouth and did the fin, that's incorrect. It's quite a ways back here. So if I look at the distance from the edge of the mouth up a bit, that's where this fin starts and curves back just slightly, and then almost comes straight down here. And pay attention to this curve is where it starts coming down. And then I want to look at the mouth and where this jawline is, and then about right here is where this fin comes. Now if you notice the distance, this negative space, all of a sudden I'm realizing I've drawn mine as too wide, because this fin comes way out into the tail, but mine doesn't. So I need to fix this. I've drawn this tail too long. So about right here is where this tail comes up and down That negative space, once you can really get used to using that as a reference for proportion, is super effective. And so now I'm going to check this negative space and see how it looks. And it's fairly close, and I'm okay with how it looks. And this fin is actually wider up here. Okay, and then my back fin, there's an angle right here from fin to fin. So this one comes in front, and I'm looking at this sharp downward angle that's going on. It's a little bit thicker. Now I'm going to darken up my lines. Now my nose isn't pointed, it's a little more rounded than I have, so I'm going to adjust that. The mouth's just really shaded in. You can put in some teeth if you want. They give the gesture of teeth down here, but there's not detail, it's just a sketch. And this photograph we're working from, it's kind of a dark sketch. And they've shaded the nose. You can add that kind of detail if you're feeling like it. The background they've really scribbled. I wouldn't mess around with that. I'm not fond of how that looks. Oh, I forgot these two fins down here. Okay, so one's in front, one's behind. Glad I caught that. Embarrassing. This poor shark. Okay, and for what we're doing, I think that's good enough.